Longlegs, directed by Oz Perkins. Okay, before I get into the film, I need to share something I just learned that I'm not sure if most people knew this because I heard nothing about this. And Longlegs is a film that I've been following since the first trailer. I've been so hyped for this movie. So I feel like I would have come across it, but the director Oz Perkins is the son of I think his name's Anthony Perkins, the actor from Psycho. That's just such a crazy little fact there. That's really sick. Anyway, on to the film. So Longlegs is it's exactly what I feel that new movies should be. Like in the sense of it's a different spin on the detective mystery because really the film's marketed for sure as a horror film. We see the FBI detective part of it, but for sure if you watch that trailer, all the trailers, because this film did have some great marketing. When you see the trailers, it's very much a horror film. No, like make no mistake. But watching the film, it does the structure of the film. It does really play like any other detective film. It reminds me a lot of Seven, David Fincher. It reminds me a lot of Seven and Zodiac. More so Seven because Seven really had like a really terrifying, unsettling aspect to that film. And I mean, all serial killer films are horrific, obviously, but just if you've seen Seven, you know what I mean. It's just way more visceral. It gets under your skin. It really does. And this film takes that to a whole other level. It's a perfect balance of a horror film and a detective mystery. And there is a supernatural aspect to this film, and it's really convenient, but in a good way, not in a lazy writing sort of way. So I won't give spoilers, but convenient in the way that, and a lot of times in films, it's just like, essentially, it works in a way where the mystery is so compelling because when the evidence is stacking up, it is kind of like, how is this happening, you know? And that makes it really compelling. It's not like, oh, of course there's a dirty cop, you know? Like, just I feel like a lot of times because we've seen this type of film before, we kind of know when what the twist might be, or just things like that. And because there's a supernatural element here, it gives the director and writer room to, like, we can't even we with the limited knowledge we have, we can't fathom what the twist might be. You enter the realm of possibility of like someone's possessed, someone's mind controlled, or even just like hypnosis, I guess. Just like, I'm not saying that's in the film, but just the realm of possibility is real. It's not just tangible, realistic evidence of this person left no trail at this house. So who was it? You know, maybe it was a cop that did it. Like, things are way more out there, and it's hard to predict what's gonna happen, which is really engaging. And that's another thing about the film that I will say that, like, I haven't seen it a second time. I most definitely will, because in retrospect, looking back on the film, it's clear that so much of the answers, or so much of the pieces of the puzzle, are there in since the very first shot. And I mean, that's great writing, you know? That's what a film should be. That's what a great mystery should be. That the puzzle pieces are just there. It's not like a random twist that it's just like, how could we have known that? Just shock value, misdirection, subverting expectations. A lot of that is just lazy, you know? And in this film, the pieces of the puzzle are just there. And even in the marketing, after I saw the film with a friend, we both were, like I said, following this film from the beginning and loving the marketing, all the images, the trailers. And we went back just to look at old posters and stuff. And I was just like mind blown at how much answers were in the marketing. But of course, we have no idea, no context. But yeah, that's just all my raw expression right now. The main star, Micah Monroe. I really like that actress. I haven't seen her in too much, but I've seen her in Guest and in It Follows. Two really good films, especially It Follows, and she's great in them. And in this role, she plays a very different role than I'm used to seeing her in. she's like a very introverted, kind of disturbed detective, FBI agent. She's an FBI agent, and she kind of like turns into a detective because um, it kind of gets revealed early on that she might be psychic, or as the film refers to her as half psychic, because she fails the test technically, but she does better than the average person. And so she just is very, oh, actually her like sergeant or whatever, her captain calls her highly intuitive because she's not considered psychic. Which, yeah, it's really that's also a really interesting aspect of the film, is that the detective has like a power or has like a connection to this case, to Longlegs, that it's like it's more than just evidence. She has like a very strong intuition, um, to the letters, to just things in general. She just knows things, and she doesn't know how she knows them. She plays that role really well. She always looks disturbed, anxious, and just uncomfortable, but she's also not afraid. She goes headfirst, so to speak, into danger, you know? Great acting all around. So, Nick Cage. In general, this film met the hype, but I think the amount of terror that you feel from seeing him as Longlegs, it they didn't disappoint. It's he's so terrifying. He's so scary, so unsettling, so uncanny. He just his face just doesn't look natural, and that makes him so scary. Like he almost looks like he looks swollen, like if he's had a bunch of plastic surgery or something. Um, and you know, it's people who are heavy, who have had heavy surgery on their face, they look off-putting. I mean, look at freaking Michael Jackson, Uncanny Valley, right there. You know, he's human. He just doesn't look quite right. It's a similar vibe with Nick Cage as Longlegs. He just does not look right. He's human, and his actual acting is just terrifying. Also, I don't know if most people know, but Nick Cage is a pretty tall guy. So in scenes, he has like lengthy limbs, and in that shot where he's doing this, his arms just look, you know, it just adds to the creepiness of his physical acting as well, his physical performance, and his voice. He just sounds so like creepy in a very traditional way, making his voice high pitch, but also it's more than just high pitch. He sounds almost like he's on the verge of tears, but at the same time, excitement, and at the same time, rage. It's just so specific and off-putting. I've truly never seen a performance like this before, and I absolutely love it. I mean, Nick Cage doesn't disappoint. We all know that. I kind of mentioned in my video about it that I like when movies just show the terror and they don't try to hide too much. I like when you just show it and let us be afraid, you know? Because if it's good directing, good writing, it's gonna be scary. But I feel like modern horror films feel the need to make you look like some crazy monster, crazy demon that just screams terror, you know? And in this way, I can see a lot of people at face value being like, he doesn't look scary, he just looks weird. But in the context of the film, when you're immersed in the theater watching it, it's just one of the most off-putting things you could see. And what I love is that since the very beginning, you see him quite a bit throughout the film. But what I love is that the cuts, they show him for like a second, but multiple times. So it's like if you just saw him in the street, you're just like, oh, there he is, gone. And in another shot, there he is, gone. So it's like you know what he looks like, but you never have time to really stare at him till like the end of the film. I love that. It's just so compelling. It's engaging because like every time he's in a frame, you're just like you kind of lean forward. You're terrified, but you kind of lean forward like, wait, what does he look like? And I loved it. You know, crazy ending, crazy plot twist. Again, it's one of those things that when it happens, you're like, of course, it was everywhere. How did I miss this? How did I miss it? Like these 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 breadcrumbs have been everywhere, but it's a great plot twist, and the actual ending itself, the last seconds of the film, so unsettling. Oh, I got chills thinking about it right now. I really love the ending, but like, I mean, a big part of this film is is that he's a Satan worshiper. I'm not about that. So it's freaking scary and off-putting, but like for the as like a cinephile, just the way it ends, I just love it. It's just so good. It just makes you sit in that the theater watching the credits roll, just really uncomfortable, and just really the movie just does exactly what it set out to do, and I applaud it for that. It's a great film, great horror film. Honestly, I feel like one of the best, not just the best this year. Like I think this is one of the best horror films I've ever seen. So yeah, nothing but praise, man. I highly recommend this movie. I hope this movie breaks some records, for like a rated R horror film or an indie film, whatever. I hope it makes some headlines, not just Nick Cage. Just the film itself deserves a lot of praise, and everyone involved deserves so much. And yeah, I hope everyone gets a chance to see it, and let me know what you guys thought in the comments. How scared were you? How not scared were you? I doubt it, but hey, I know a lot of those horror fans exist where they're unfazed by everything. But yeah, thanks for watching.